guys, welcome back to my channel. I quite literally think I might have just cracked the code, okay, for myself. And I realized why the most successful people are extremely successful and why they try to hide it from the rest of the world. And it's really simple, but I think I figured it out. So I used to hear all the time like how important it was to meditate. I learned early on that it was very important to meditate and to meditate on the things that you want in life. And I've been meditating for years and it's kind of changed for me. Sometimes I did intuitive meditation, sometimes I did just breathing meditations, but recently I've been meditating on my manifestations, what I want to manifest. For example, I wanted to manifest a certain amount of followers on social media, so I manifested that. And I would meditate and I would close my eyes and I would imagine having 10K followers on TikTok. I did that for like a few days and then I got it. And then I also meditated on having a brand deal. I did that a few times and then I got it a little bit after, but I couldn't quite understand what is the correlation between meditation and manifesting my desired reality. And then I did a lot of research and I went to a lot of different people and I finally figured it out, okay? So there is a cycle to reality, okay? There's steps, okay? And the first step is your state of being, which is just your emotional state of being. So if you're happy, sad, tired, poor, wealthy, whatever, it's however you feel, okay? And your state of being is your frequency. And your frequency is like, imagine you have a radio and you're turning the knobs and you're turning it to station 1 or station 3, station 8, whatever. Depending on what station you want is your frequency, okay? So just to be clear, reality is everything, everywhere, all at once, okay? But we have our own personal realities that we create. But reality is everything. So based off of reality, okay, reality is the radio, and then your frequencies are the stations, okay? So based on your state of being and your frequency, you will get an intuition, okay? And your intuition is basically what leads you to take certain actions, right? So I used to meditate and my intuition would tell me, okay, go to this place today or talk to this person or give me certain ideas, right? And I would take action on those things. So your frequency / state of being translates to your intuition, which translates to the actions that you take. And the actions that you take are what shape your own reality. They don't create reality, right? Because reality already exists. You are dialed into a certain frequency, right? But the action is what helps the whole thing follow through and then materialize, right? Is what makes the spiritual into the physical, which is what makes your imagination, your feelings, to your intuition, to your actions real, okay? So I was manifesting really cool things and I was just like figuring out like, how do I do it exactly? Like I was doing it unconsciously and not consistently. And I would meditate on what I want. Sometimes, like I would meditate on what I want and still not get it. I would meditate on what I want and get it. I would take certain actions and get what I want. I would not even take any actions and get what I want. So I was like, okay, I have to figure this out. Okay, so number 1, you need to imagine what it's like and how it would feel to have what you want. If you want a partner, if you want a new job, if you want a certain amount of money, if you want to get out of a certain situation, if you want a house, whatever it is, okay? You have to meditate and imagine that. Meditate means just focus on it. Focus all your energy on it, okay? So every single morning before you get up, before you check your phone, meditate on what you want. So for example, you meditate on a partner. And you're like, okay, I want a partner, and you're imagining the type of partner, what they look like, how they treat you, how they make you feel. What this does is it makes you feel a certain way. It emits a certain emotions and feelings, okay? Now, this is your state of being. This is what frequency you're tuned into. It's your imagination, right? So based off of that, okay, you will get intuition. And your intuition might be like this is when you get ideas like, oh, what if I go to this coffee shop? Or, ooh, what if I dress like this? Or, ooh, what if I talk to this person? You get what I'm saying? Things that you wouldn't normally think or feel the need to do, but because you're in this state of being, right, you're imagining it, you start having all these ideas. But the issue is people get unmotivated when the ideas go away. But you have to understand that you're constantly switching frequencies, okay? And most likely the manifestation you want is on a frequency that you don't normally visit. And so in order to even build that frequency bigger, okay, and the bigger that you build a frequency, the longer it will stay without you having to do anything, okay? Because you guys all have frequencies right now. You guys all have a natural state of being right now, okay? Whether you're neutral, whether you're angry, whatever, you have a everyday state of being that you're normally in. This frequency is really strong, okay? And that's why you struggle to get away from it, because you put so much energy in it over the years, over your lifetime, that it just stays. So the more that you meditate and feed your new frequency, right, by thinking about it, by imagining it, by meditating, by praying, just like embodying what it would feel like, okay, embodying that state of being, the stronger it will get and the longer it will stay without you having to intentionally put yourself in it, right? So then when you are in this state of being, when you are in this frequency, your intuition is going to go crazy. This is why when you get a burst of motivation, it's because you're in a certain frequency and you're thinking all these thoughts and you're like, oh, this sounds good, this sounds good, this is great. Like, if you just close your eyes and imagine what you want, your intuition will go dumb. The downloads that you'll have will be crazy, okay? But what happens before you take action is a lot of people just think that thinking it is enough, right? Feeling good is enough. And that is very important, but it's only one part. You have to take action. But the thing is, what happens is, after you meditate, after you embody that state of being and that frequency, you get intuition, but then you forget about it because you fall out of that state of being. You fall out of that frequency, and then you go back to the normal actions that you were taking, and it doesn't lead you to your desired reality. It doesn't lead you to the manifestations that you want, okay? So it's important that you remember, write down, pay attention to what is going on in your mind, what your intuition is telling you while you're in that state of being, the state of being that you would be in if you already manifested what you wanted, okay? And so you can write that down, you can make a voice memo, you can talk to yourself while you're in that state of being. Like, I used to listen to music and that would get me in a really good state of being, and then all my ideas and thoughts I would just start speaking them onto my phone, and then I would take action on them later, okay? And once you know what the actions are, right, even if you're not in that state of being, you still take the actions because those are the right actions, okay? But what happens a lot of time is you try to take the same actions that your intuition was telling you when you were in your desired state of being, right? So you were in your desired state of being and you have all these intuitions, and then you try to act on it later when you're out of it, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right because it's not in alignment with your frequency, which is your old one, which is your old state of being. Okay, so number one, it's important to always bring that state of being back, always meditate on it, always imagine about it so that your intuition can be spot on and on the dot. But if you don't have time to, or if you just don't want to, then you still need to be prepared to take the actions that your intuition gave you when you were in your desired state of being. You still need to take action. You still need to do those actions. It won't feel good because you're not in alignment with the state of being that it belongs to, but you still take the action because you know. So that's how you can be productive. That's how you can be proactive, even if you don't meditate, okay? Even if you meditate once and you got all the answers and you had a revelation, you still know. You still have the answers now, so act on the answers even if they don't feel good, okay? And they don't feel good because you're not in the state of being, but if you got back in that state of being by meditating or imagining, those actions would feel perfect and easy. Okay, and let me give a few more examples so you guys understand. If you want love, right, like you want a healthy relationship, okay, but deep down inside you feel so much betrayal, you feel so heartbroken, you feel like you can't trust anybody, like that's your state of being, then your intuition is only going to guide you to creating more of that feeling, which is finding ways to feel heartbreak, finding ways to feel betrayal, finding ways to reinforce what you already feel. And then based on your intuition, you're gonna take actions that will literally lead to toxicity, unhealthy relationships, heartbreak, betrayal. Like that's the cycle of it. So you can logically know that you want something, but if you can't fully embody it, then you're not gonna be taking the right direction, okay? It's not about logic, okay? It's about your heart, it's about your feelings, it's about your emotions, okay? This is why people say, don't say things when you're angry, Because you can be in an angry state of being for literally 5 minutes, and everything that's coming up in your head, like, oh, I'm gonna say this, belongs to this state of being, belongs to this frequency, and then you act on it, and you say certain things to people, and it ruins relationships, and then you try to beg for them back, like, I didn't mean it, but they don't understand that this wasn't you. They don't understand that this was just a certain state of being or a certain frequency, okay? And it doesn't matter. You already disrespected and hurt this person. But if you would have just waited until you calmed down, until you were in a calmer state of being, then your intuition probably would have told you, okay, I want to make peace, I want to make amends, and then your actions that you would have taken would have led to peace and making amends, okay? Your state of being, your frequency, only seeks to recreate itself. Like, it will just pass down like a lineage, right? So if you feel good, your intuition is going to lead you to more good, and the actions you take are going to lead you to direct goodness. If you feel bad, your intuition is going to lead you to more bad, and your actions that you're going to take are going to lead you to direct badness, okay? Your intentions don't matter, okay? You can say you're going to do something good and think it's good, but if you don't genuinely feel, if it's not coming from a good place, it has to come from a good place. And when people say it has to come from somewhere, it has to come from your heart. Okay, so understand whatever emotion that you emit from your heart is going to manifest into something. Okay, I had to enter this clip in, so ignore the complete switch up. But an example, okay, is if you want to lose weight, right? But internally, your state of being, you feel fat, you feel ugly, you feel like there's no way you can get fit. That's how you feel, right? Now, you might get up and go to the gym, right? But if you're in that state of being, then intuitively, you're going to be guided to the reinforcement of that state of being, which is fat. So that means you're gonna take actions that are gonna keep you fat, right? If you wanna lose weight. So you'll go to the gym, right? You'll go, and then you and then you intuitively are guided to do easier workouts. Maybe you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do cardio. Then maybe you're like, okay, I'm gonna do only a few reps. Okay, I'm gonna only do a few sets. Okay, maybe like you'll shorten the workout or you'll sabotage the workout. This is what I mean. It doesn't matter what actions you take. If you're not in a good state of being, if you're not in the state of being in which you would be in if you manifested your desires, then it's not going to work. So it's tricky, right? It's tricky because you can even take the actions, right? You can go to the gym, eat right, but if internally you just don't feel whatever it is that you really want, your intuition and your actions will lead you in a different direction. Okay, another example is if you want a relationship, a healthy relationship, if you want love, okay, but internally you feel like you have trust issues, you feel scared to be in a relationship, you feel like you hate a certain, gender, like whether you're like, I hate men, I hate women, whatever, that's how you feel, right? But logically, you're like, I want love, right? So you go on dates, you meet people, right? You might meet the one, right? Okay, but because you're not in the state of love, and I want a loving relationship, and I want a healthy relationship, you're in unhealthy, like your state of being is unhealthy relationship, right? So you can do all the things that are required to meet someone and be in a relationship and then get in that relationship, right? But then you're sabotaging the relationship. You're starting arguments, you're bringing things up because your intuition, like you're going with your gut and you're taking action based off of that. But that's coming from your frequency. That's coming from your state of being, which is, I hate men, I hate women, like I feel like I don't trust relationships, right? So then you're gonna start saying things when you're having a conversation with your partner and you're gonna think these things are right because they're coming from you intuitively, and you might mess around and cause an argument or ruin the relationship or cause a breakup or be toxic, right? Unintentionally, you're not even trying to do that, right? You're trying to do everything right, but it's just like you can't do it right. Like you can't think outside of yourself for some reason. Because you can't think outside of your own frequency. So you just have to be in a different state, okay? So I just needed to add those examples in. So if you want something, be strategic. Think smarter, not harder, okay? Just feel it first and then take action on whatever ideas that you have. Okay, if you're fighting, wait until you're calm. If you want to come into a resolution, just tell this person, like, let's wait till we're calm. Okay, if you want to be rich, you have to stop feeling poor. Even if you literally think that you're poor, even if you physically think that you're poor, feel rich. Imagine yourself with a lot of money. It's this easy. Just close your eyes and imagine yourself with it. And then take the thoughts, take the downloads that you get. Okay, it doesn't have to be forever. You don't have to be a monk and then practice being in this state forever, okay? Just be consistent at it. Just be consistent at it, and over time it will build gradually, and then you'll put enough energy and time and focus into it that it will just stay, and it'll become your baseline state of being. Right? There's people that are super chill, there's people that are super energetic, there's different personalities, right? Personalities is your personal reality, okay? This is how people tune into different frequencies, and this is why they are different people, right? Because they follow a certain intuition that's directly from their own state of being, their own frequency, and that's the actions that they take. This is why not everybody's the same. Right? If we didn't have the ability to switch frequencies and everybody was just everything, everywhere, all at once, like reality, we would all be the same. We would all be like robots or avatars or something. We would not be different, okay? This world would be psycho. But God gave us the ability to do this. God gave us free will so you can decide how your life looks. You can decide how and when you want to achieve something, what you want your life to look like, who you want to be, what type of personality you want to have. You have all of the power to do this. Okay, so I really hope this helps, and let me think if there's anything else to say. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you.